Brothers, welcome back to Official Sigma Male, the only channel that dares to explore the hidden depths of what makes you truly different. If you've ever wondered why people seem to react to you in ways you can't quite explain, or why you sometimes feel like you're operating on a completely different frequency than everyone else, then you're about to discover something profound. Today, we're unveiling 9 secrets that people sense in you, but will never openly admit. These aren't surface-level observations or generic personality traits. These are deep, psychological patterns that set Sigma males apart and create an invisible influence that others feel but rarely understand. Before we dive deep into these revelations, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Why? Because understanding these hidden aspects of your nature isn't just about self-awareness. It's about unlocking your full potential and learning to navigate a world that often misunderstands your unique approach to life. This channel is your guide to mastering the Sigma mindset, and every video we create is designed to help you embrace your authentic power. 1. The invisible magnetism. What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this video, people around you are picking up on signals you didn't even know you were sending? Every Sigma male carries within them a collection of invisible traits that others sense immediately, yet rarely acknowledge out loud. These aren't just personality quirks, they're profound psychological patterns that set you apart from the crowd in ways that both fascinate and intimidate those around you. The first secret they sense in you is your invisible magnetism, a gravitational pull that has nothing to do with conventional charm or loud personality. Unlike alphas who command attention through dominance or betas who seek approval through agreeability, you possess something far more intriguing, authentic self-possession that draws people in without any effort on your part. This magnetism manifests in subtle but powerful ways. When you enter a room, you don't announce your presence. Yet people notice. You don't seek the spotlight, but somehow conversations gravitate toward your orbit. Women find themselves stealing glances when they think you're not looking. Men feel an inexplicable need to either prove themselves to you or distance themselves entirely. Children and animals are drawn to your calm energy, sensing the absence of hidden agendas or emotional manipulation. The psychology behind this phenomenon is rooted in what researchers call authentic presence. Most people operate from a state of internal conflict, constantly managing their image, seeking validation, or suppressing parts of themselves to fit in. You, however, have achieved something rare, genuine self-integration. You're not trying to be anyone other than who you are, and this authenticity creates a magnetic field that others can feel but rarely understand. Consider Marcus, a software engineer who never considered himself particularly charismatic. At company meetings, he rarely spoke unless directly asked, yet colleagues consistently sought his opinion on important decisions. His manager once confided that Marcus had something special, an ability to make others feel heard and understood without saying much at all. What Marcus possessed wasn't traditional leadership skills, but rather the Sigma trait of authentic presence that naturally drew others to seek his perspective. This invisible magnetism also explains why people often feel simultaneously comfortable and unsettled around you. They're attracted to your genuine nature, yet intimidated by your self-sufficiency. You don't need their approval, and this independence is both refreshing and threatening to those accustomed to transactional relationships based on mutual validation. The most fascinating aspect of this magnetism is how it operates completely outside your conscious control. You're not turning on the charm or employing social techniques, you're simply being yourself. This effortless quality is what makes it so powerful and why others can sense it, but struggle to articulate what exactly draws them to you. 2. The strategic silence. People notice something unsettling about your relationship with silence. You're not afraid of it. While others rush to fill every conversational gap with nervous chatter or meaningless small talk, You exist comfortably in the spaces between words. This isn't social awkwardness or shyness, it's strategic silence, and it reveals a level of self-control that both impresses and intimidates those around you. Your strategic silence operates on multiple levels that others sense but rarely comprehend. First, there's your comfort with internal processing. When faced with complex situations or difficult questions, you don't feel compelled to respond immediately. You take time to think, to analyze, to formulate a response worth giving. This pause, often just a few seconds, creates a psychological tension that others find both attractive and unnerving. Consider the boardroom scenario where everyone is rapid-firing ideas to impress the boss. While others compete for airtime, you listen, observe, and when you finally speak, your words carry weight because they're considered, not reactive. Colleagues later describe your contributions as insightful or cutting through the noise, never realizing that your power came not from what you said, but from what you chose not to say. This strategic use of silence extends to emotional situations as well. When others are caught up in drama or conflict, you maintain your composure, refusing to be drawn into unnecessary verbal sparring. Your silence becomes a mirror that reflects their own emotional chaos back at them, often diffusing situations more effectively than any argument could. The psychological impact of your strategic silence is profound. In a world of constant noise and attention-seeking behavior, your selective communication suggests depth and mystery. People begin to wonder what you're thinking, what you know that they don't. This curiosity creates an unconscious investment in your attention. Suddenly, earning your words becomes more valuable than receiving empty chatter from others. Your silence also reveals your independence from external validation. You don't need to constantly prove your intelligence, worth, or relevance through verbal performance. This self-sufficiency is magnetic because it's so rare. Most people are addicted to the feedback loop of speaking and receiving reactions. Your ability to exist without this constant validation suggests an inner strength that others find both enviable and mysterious. 3. The calculated vulnerability. Here's a secret that most people will never admit they notice. You have mastered the art of calculated vulnerability. Unlike others who either overshare from insecurity or maintain rigid emotional walls from fear, you reveal pieces of yourself strategically, creating genuine connection without compromising your core independence. This calculated vulnerability is perhaps one of the most sophisticated psychological tools in your arsenal, and others sense its power even when they can't articulate what makes your approach so compelling. You understand that true strength isn't about never showing weakness. It's about choosing when and how to show your humanity in ways that build trust rather than invite exploitation. When you do choose to open up, it's never from a place of neediness or desperation for connection. Instead, it's a conscious decision to allow someone access to a deeper layer of your experience. This might manifest as sharing a meaningful struggle you've overcome, admitting uncertainty about a complex decision, or revealing a passion that others might find unconventional. Take David, a Sigma male who rarely discussed his personal life at work. When a colleague was going through a difficult divorce, David briefly shared how he had navigated a similar situation years earlier, offering practical insights without dwelling on emotional details. That single moment of calculated vulnerability created a bond of trust that transformed their professional relationship. Yet David maintained his mysterious aura by not making such revelations a regular occurrence. The power of your calculated vulnerability lies in its rarity and authenticity. Because you don't constantly seek sympathy or validation through emotional displays, when you do choose to be vulnerable, people recognize it as genuine rather than manipulative. This creates profound trust because others sense that you're sharing something real, not performing for their approval. Your approach to vulnerability also demonstrates emotional intelligence and self-awareness. You understand the difference between productive vulnerability that builds connection and destructive oversharing that creates awkwardness or dependency. This emotional sophistication is something others pick up on intuitively, even if they can't explain why your approach to sharing feels so different from the emotional neediness they're accustomed to encountering. 4. The effortless boundaries. People sense something remarkable about how you handle boundaries. You establish and maintain them without drama, explanation, or apology. While others struggle with saying no, over-explaining their decisions, or feeling guilty about protecting their time and energy, you possess an effortless boundary system that operates like a natural force field. Your boundaries aren't built from anger, resentment, or defensive reactions to past hurts. Instead, they emerge from a clear understanding of your values, priorities, and capacity. You don't need to justify why you won't attend every social gathering, why you don't respond to messages immediately, or why certain behaviors are unacceptable to you. This natural boundary setting creates both respect and confusion in others who are accustomed to negotiating, pleading, or manipulating their way around people's limits. The psychological impact of your effortless boundaries is profound. When someone encounters your no, they don't experience the emotional chaos that typically accompanies boundary setting. There's no guilt-tripping to exploit, no anger to deflect, no explanations to argue against. Your boundaries simply exist, like natural laws that others learn to work within rather than fight against. Consider Marcus, who worked in a high-pressure sales environment where staying late was considered a sign of dedication. Unlike his colleagues who either complained while working excessive hours or made elaborate excuses for leaving on time, Marcus simply finished his work and left at his designated time. When questioned, he'd simply say, "My work is complete for today." No justification, no apology, no drama. Over time, his colleagues stopped asking and even began to respect his consistency. Your effortless boundaries also extend to emotional manipulation. You don't get drawn into guilt trips, emotional blackmail, or manufactured crises designed to override your limits. This immunity to manipulation tactics both frustrates and impresses others. They sense that traditional methods of influence don't work on you, which forces them to interact with you more authentically. The beauty of your boundary system is that it's protective without being defensive. You're not building walls to keep people out. You're maintaining healthy parameters that allow for genuine connection within appropriate contexts. This creates a sense of safety in relationships. People know where they stand with you, and paradoxically, this clarity makes them feel more comfortable, not less. 5. The detached intensity. There's something about your emotional approach that people find both captivating and confusing. You possess what can only be described as detached intensity. You care deeply about what matters to you, yet you remain emotionally independent from outcomes. This paradoxical combination creates a magnetic presence that others sense but struggle to understand. Your detached intensity manifests in how you pursue goals, handle setbacks, and engage with passions. When you're working on something important, you bring complete focus and dedication to the task. However, unlike others who become emotionally dependent on specific outcomes, you maintain a philosophical distance that allows you to adapt, pivot, or even walk away if circumstances change. This emotional sophistication is rare in a world where most people swing between apathy and anxious attachment. You've discovered the sweet spot of engaged detachment, caring enough to give your best effort while remaining unattached enough to maintain perspective and emotional stability regardless of results. Consider the entrepreneur who spends months developing a business idea with complete dedication, researching every detail and crafting a comprehensive plan. When market conditions shift and the opportunity disappears, instead of emotional devastation, he simply analyzes what he learned and moves on to the next venture. This detached intensity allows for sustained high performance without the emotional roller coaster that exhausts most people. Your detached intensity also appears in relationships. You can be fully present and engaged with people while maintaining your emotional independence. You don't need others to validate your emotions, confirm your perceptions, or complete your sense of self. This creates a unique dynamic where people feel your genuine interest and attention, yet also sense that you would be perfectly fine without their approval or presence. The psychological impact of this trait is powerful because it challenges people's assumptions about how emotions and investment should work. Most people believe that caring deeply requires emotional attachment to outcomes, yet you demonstrate a more evolved approach. This maturity and emotional sophistication is something others unconsciously recognize and respect, even when they can't articulate what makes your approach so compelling. 6. The selective investment. People notice something intriguing about how you distribute your time, energy, and attention. You're highly selective about where you invest yourself. While others scatter their resources trying to please everyone or pursue every opportunity, you operate with a laser-focused selectivity that both impresses and sometimes frustrates those around you. Your selective investment isn't born from laziness or lack of ambition. It's the result of a sophisticated understanding of value, alignment, and resource management. You've learned that saying yes to everything means saying no to what truly matters. This wisdom allows you to achieve remarkable depth and quality in your chosen pursuits, while others remain spread thin across multiple mediocre endeavors. This selectivity extends to relationships, career choices, social commitments, and personal projects. You don't feel obligated to attend every social event, pursue every networking opportunity, or maintain superficial friendships out of politeness. Instead, you invest deeply in relationships and activities that align with your values and contribute to your growth. Consider the professional who turns down prestigious but misaligned job offers to focus on developing expertise in his chosen field. While others chase impressive titles or higher salaries, he invests his time in mastering his craft and building meaningful professional relationships. Over time, this selective investment yields far greater returns than the scattered approach of his peers. Your selective investment also manifests in how you consume information and entertainment. You're not drawn to every trending topic, viral video, or social media controversy. Instead, you curate your mental input carefully, choosing books, conversations, and experiences that add genuine value to your life. This intellectual selectivity contributes to your depth and presence in a way that others find compelling. The psychological impact of your selective investment is significant. People sense that your attention is valuable precisely because it's not freely given to everyone and everything. When you do choose to invest your time or energy in someone or something, that investment carries weight and meaning. This scarcity creates value. People recognize that earning your investment is an achievement, not an entitlement. 7. The authentic indifference. Perhaps the most misunderstood trait that others sense in you is your authentic indifference, not apathy or coldness, but a genuine lack of concern for things that don't align with your values or contribute to your growth. This isn't a defensive mechanism or a way to protect yourself from disappointment. It's a natural result of your clear priorities and self-knowledge. Your authentic indifference manifests in various aspects of life that typically consume others' mental energy. You're genuinely unbothered by social status games, fashion trends, celebrity gossip, or keeping up with the latest cultural phenomena. This isn't because you're trying to be contrarian or superior. You simply don't find these things interesting or important enough to warrant your attention. This trait creates a fascinating dynamic in social situations. While others are discussing the latest social media drama or competing over material possessions, you remain genuinely disengaged. Your indifference isn't performed or judgmental, it's simply authentic. This natural detachment from common social preoccupations both confuses and intrigues those around you. In professional settings, your authentic indifference to office politics, unnecessary meetings, or bureaucratic theater makes you stand out. You participate when required, but don't invest emotional energy in workplace drama or power struggles that don't serve your purpose. This approach often leads to others viewing you as refreshingly honest and focused, even when they can't quite articulate why your approach feels so different. Your authentic indifference also extends to approval-seeking behaviors. You don't modify your personality to fit in with different groups, chase likes on social media, or alter your opinions based on what others want to hear. This consistency across different contexts creates a sense of reliability and authenticity that others find both admirable and slightly intimidating. The power of your authentic indifference lies in how it frees your mental and emotional resources for what truly matters to you. While others exhaust themselves caring about everything and everyone, you conserve your energy for your chosen priorities. This focused approach to life creates a sense of purpose and direction that others can sense but rarely achieve themselves. 8. The quiet competence. There's something about your approach to skill and achievement that sets you apart. You possess quiet competence that speaks louder than any boasting or self-promotion ever could. While others feel compelled to announce their accomplishments, seek recognition for their efforts, or constantly prove their worth through verbal assertions, your competence simply exists, evident in your actions and results. Your quiet competence manifests in how you handle challenges, develop skills, and deliver results without fanfare. You don't feel the need to document every step of your learning process on social media, announce your goals before achieving them, or seek validation for your efforts. Instead, you focus on the work itself, allowing your results to speak for your capabilities. This approach creates a powerful psychological impact on those around you. When competence is quiet, it appears more authentic and substantial than loud proclamations of ability. People sense that your confidence comes from genuine skill and experience, rather than insecurity, disguised as bravado. This creates trust and respect that's difficult to achieve through self-promotion. Consider the software developer who quietly masters new programming languages in his spare time, never mentioning his studies to colleagues. When a complex project requires skills others don't possess, he simply volunteers to handle it, delivering exceptional results without explanation or fanfare. His quiet competence becomes legendary within the organization, leading to opportunities and respect that no amount of self-promotion could have achieved. Your quiet competence also extends to how you handle failure and setbacks. When things don't go as planned, you don't make excuses, blame external factors, or announce your struggles to gain sympathy. You simply analyze what went wrong, adjust your approach, and continue working toward your goals. This mature response to failure demonstrates a level of emotional and psychological development that others find impressive. The beauty of quiet competence is that it builds compound credibility over time. Each demonstration of your abilities adds to a growing reputation for reliability and skill. People begin to seek your input not because you've promoted yourself, but because they've observed your consistent performance. This organic recognition is far more valuable and sustainable than any self-generated publicity. 9. The purposeful mystery. The final secret that people sense in you is perhaps the most intriguing: your purposeful mystery. This isn't about being secretive or manipulative. It's about maintaining an appropriate level of privacy and depth that keeps people genuinely interested in understanding you better. In a world of oversharing and constant documentation, your selective revelation of personal information creates a magnetic curiosity. Your purposeful mystery operates through what you choose not to reveal as much as what you do share. You don't feel compelled to explain every decision, justify every choice, or provide constant updates about your personal life. This restraint creates space for others to wonder, to imagine, to become genuinely curious about your thoughts, experiences, and perspectives. This mystery isn't manufactured or strategic in a manipulative sense. It's a natural result of your privacy preferences and your understanding that some things are more powerful when left unsaid. You recognize that constant revelation diminishes impact, while thoughtful restraint increases the value of what you do choose to share. In social media age, your purposeful mystery becomes even more noticeable. While others document every meal, thought, and activity, you maintain a more curated and selective online presence. This restraint makes your occasional posts or comments carry more weight and generates genuine interest rather than scroll past indifference. Your purposeful mystery also extends to your decision-making process. People often find themselves wondering how you reached certain conclusions, what experiences shaped your perspectives, or what you really think about various topics. This curiosity creates psychological investment. People become genuinely interested in understanding your thought processes and gaining access to your insights. The power of purposeful mystery lies in its ability to create sustainable intrigue. Unlike manufactured drama or attention-seeking behavior that quickly becomes tiresome, your natural depth and selective sharing creates lasting fascination. People sense that there are layers to discover, stories to uncover, and wisdom to gain from understanding your perspective better. Your purposeful mystery ultimately serves as both protection and attraction. It protects your inner world from casual intrusion while attracting those who are genuinely interested in meaningful connection. This natural filtering system ensures that your deeper relationships are with people who appreciate complexity rather than those seeking superficial entertainment. This mystery isn't about being impossible to know, it's about being impossible to know completely, ensuring that even close relationships maintain elements of discovery and growth. In this way, your purposeful mystery becomes a gift to both yourself and others, preserving the wonder and curiosity that keeps relationships dynamic and engaging throughout time. As we conclude this exploration of your invisible magnetism, remember that this is just the first of 9 profound secrets we'll be uncovering together. Each one builds upon the last, creating a complete picture of the psychological forces that make you who you are. Your invisible magnetism isn't something you can fake or manufacture. It's the natural result of your authentic self-integration and emotional independence. While others exhaust themselves trying to impress or manipulate their way into influence, you possess something far more powerful: genuine presence that draws others without effort. If this resonates with your experience, you're ready for the deeper insights we'll explore in the coming videos. Subscribe to Official Sigma Male if you haven't already, not just for the content, but because you're part of a rare group of individuals who understand that true strength comes from within, not from external validation. Your journey of self-discovery is just beginning, and I'll be here to guide you through every revelation that awaits.